Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Seems like Harry has got off the hook. The Heritage Foundation in the States has gone to the courts to request that the Department of Homeland Security releases the visa information on Harry. But they have refused to do so, citing privacy. So the court goes ahead and the judge comes down on the side of Harry and saying that there is no public interest to be applied here to see whether that visa is genuine, or if there were problems, any sort of issues with it with regards to the taking of any substances that Harry may or may not have put down in his visa application, as opposed to what he's been telling people like out loud and via his new book, Spare Penis. So this case will rumble on. The Heritage Foundation are now going to go to the next stage. They're saying that it is in the public interest. People need to have confidence in the Homeland Security, that they're doing their job and that they are keeping out undesirables, especially people who admit to the crimes of which he is accused. Now, should it be that it is released and it is found that he did not declare his use of these products and then has subsequently said so in his book, it would therefore null and void his visa. So he has potentially an awful lot to lose, and that is why it most certainly is in the public interest. So we're going to take a look at this, see what's going to happen and see what their next step will be. Here goes. So, US officials block the release of Prince Harry's US visa files, but conservative think tank threatens to sue and blasts the zero transparency Biden administration. Of course, before we get into this, it must be obvious that whenever someone is blocking things despite repeated requests and freedom of information and all this, you know that the reason they're blocking the access to this is that there is definitely something in there that would embarrass those who are blocking it. Now, it will be perhaps that Harry did mention these products, in which case he should not have been given a visa, or he hasn't, in which case he's lied on his visa application and the visa should be withdrawn. Either way, he is in deep trouble because he's very, very stupid. Now, if I was to go and apply to go to America and I was told, I need a visa, and I fill in my visa, pay me money and hand it over, but I knew there was something in my past that may prove problematic, I have two choices. I come clean and tell them straight up, this is what I did. It was a long time ago. It was a one-off and sort of thing. But I just wanted to be completely honest. What can we say? The foibles of youth, that sort of thing. Youthful enthusiasm. And you may just get away with it. If, however, I decided that I would instead lie, and then it came out that I'd been lying, I would expect to be punished for it. Now, depending on what it is and what the punishment could be, but at the very least, I'd expect the visa to be rescinded and that I'd be asked to leave the country. And that is a possibility for Harry. And that would cause a lot of embarrassment for the Biden administration. Why else do you think the visa application requests are being so vigorously denied? Anyway, lawyers for the Heritage Foundation say they will sue to force the release of the Duke of Sussex's visa file. The Department of Homeland Security rejected their claims that there was a public interest in doing so, when there quite clearly is. There's lots of people in the public who are very interested. Questions have been raised about the Duke's past use of pharmaceuticals that he admitted to in his bombshell memoir, Spare Penis. US officials have rejected this request, and they are saying quite out, it's a matter of his personal privacy. Bull. If he wanted privacy, he wouldn't have written that book. Anyway, lawyers for the Heritage Foundation went to court last week to try and force the Department for Homeland Security, the DHS, to speed up its response to their Freedom of Information Act request about the Duke of Sussex. Judge Carl Nichols refused to issue an injunction urging the US government to give an answer to the Conservative think tank one way or another by next Tuesday, or last Tuesday, last Tuesday, the 13th. But on Wednesday, its lead attorney, Samuel Dewey, shared a letter from DHS Senior Director Jimmy Wolfrey in which he refused to confirm or deny that he had the Duke's papers on file. Well, that is a bit weird, isn't it? This is the one organisation that knows everything about everyone coming into the country. After 9/11, they absolutely have total control. For them to say they don't have his visa application on file is a lie. They're outright lying. To the extent records exist, he said, this office does not find a public interest in disclosure sufficient to override the subject's privacy interests. It's unbelievable. They are absolutely getting phone calls from everyone to try and cover this up. They are desperate for this file to remain secret because they know that if Harry said what he's done and they've put it in and somebody's got to sign it off, and it's going to be someone very, very senior. It would be very, very embarrassing to the Biden administration. Although how more embarrassing it could be to the Biden administration than having Joe Biden lead it, God only knows. It means the Conservative think tank will now have to use further legal means to force the DHS to release the files. In an angry statement posted online, the Heritage Foundation's Niall Gardner hit out at the decision. He said, this argument makes no sense, but it is not surprising coming from the zero transparency Biden administration. The Department of Homeland Security's efforts to stonewall the Heritage Foundation's Freedom of Information requests are unacceptable, and we will be contesting their position, the former aide to the ex-British PM Margaret Thatcher added. Well, and they're right. This is a matter for the Americans' national security, because they want to know that the Homeland Security people are doing their job properly. It is a massive interest of public interest. Plus, over here we want to know too. It's not just the Americans. We want to know. We want to know if that man is a liar, which we all know he is. We all know he's told complete and utter fabrications. Not everything, but a lot of it has been fabricated, and he needs to be held to account. So yeah, let's get that visa application out. Let's get it seen, and then let's get him thrown out of America, told he can never return, and just totally make him, persona non grata in polite American society, and hopefully he'll take his yacht girl wife with him when he leaves the country. That ain't gonna happen, is it? It really isn't gonna happen. She'll divorce him quick as you like and try and find someone who'll put up with a bit of used meat, who's aged 50 odd now. She's looking for someone. She's looking for a billionaire who wants to have it with a 50-year-old. Any billionaire who's still got his eyesight won't be looking at her. Definitely used goods. Anyway, I'm going to round off and come up. We all pretend that we're not interested. We all pretend, we don't care about this. We all say, no, it's just Harry. Bored. But actually, I am really interested. Not in him. I think he's a nothing. He's a nobody, isn't he? But I'm very, very interested in this visa story because I like to see the Biden administration squirm. And it's squirming. It is desperate to keep this a secret. Who signed off? Did this go all the way up to the office of the president? Does that have Joe Biden's signature overriding something on there? That would be cracking if it did, wouldn't it? Be the end of him. Absolutely, the end of an American president breaking the law to make sure that the royal family of Great Britain and Northern Ireland are not embarrassed. Makes you proud to be British, doesn't it? Anyway, I shall round up there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see and hear on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, don't lie on your visa application, and goodbye.